United Caribbean Trust has been working in Africa now for over 6 years. All of the groundwork has been laid. We've actually established our own charity in Africa called the Africa Bureau of Children's Discipleship, the ABCD. It's the African arm of United Caribbean Trust. Bishop Pinos here and myself are the trustees. We have directors from 3 different countries. This is Bishop David Akandawe from Tanzania. These are men of integrity. Bishop is overseeing over 16 churches in that country. This is Pastor William Selwimbo from Malawi. And of course we have Reverend Abraham Kasimbo and his beautiful wife Maggie. These are our Uganda representatives who will be in charge of the Hope Childcare Centre. Right now we're focusing on our Africa appeal because the need is intense. There are many organizations doing a great work over there, but there's a dire need for more help. The Hope Childcare Centre in Uganda was first established by Jack and Ethel, who were a Ugandan couple. For years it ran as an orphanage. Unfortunately, as they got elderly, they passed it on to their daughters. One of the daughters died in childbirth, leaving her sister to care for her seriously physically and mentally challenged little girl. Edith, the aunt, took over her care, but it became all too much, and eventually almost 40 of the children had to be absorbed into the community. These children are now being cared for by guardians, many of them suffering from AIDS. We're looking to do this through a child sponsorship program. We've got an educational child sponsorship. This is $100 Barbados or $50 US. This would enable the children to get to school, but it's not going to enable them to go to school with shoes and school supplies. It'll just pay for their education. So we've also established a nurturing sponsorship. That's also $100 Barbados. That's going to get the children to school with uniforms, backpack, school supplies. It's going to pay for their toiletries and their clothes, and it's going to give them a meal a day. It will enable us to also employ a house mother. It's going to stop the children from dying of starvation. But we realized that we needed more, and that's why we've established a sustainable agricultural project. And that childcare package is also $100 Barbados or $50 US. This is going to enable us to be able to get some sheep, some goats and chickens, to grow some vegetables and some moringa. We also have land in Uganda, in eastern Uganda. This land was donated by Bishop Pinos, and you can see his wife and I. This is where we are going to be actually helping to establish and enlarge our sustainable agriculture project. This is good fertile agriculture land, and we're going to be actually growing a lot of the vegetables and fruit for the orphanage or the childcare centre here on this land in eastern Uganda. We don't want to forget all of those children that were integrated into the community. There are almost 40 of them there within the community being cared for by the guardians. And so we've extended our childcare sponsorship to also include them. There's going to be the same 3 aspects to cover the community sponsorship. That's educational, nurturing, as well as sustainable agriculture. We don't want them to feel left out. So they're going to come to the Hope Childcare Centre where they can take part in all sorts of different extracurricular activities, character building programs, and they're going to also get a full meal at the centre with our orphans. All part and parcel of the Community Child Sponsorship Program, which is the same $100 Barbados or $50 US. This is Pastor Abraham in the rubbish dump, and these are some of those street children that live there. And because we have 2.5 acres, we're hoping to be able to establish a drop-in centre as well, so that they can come and get food and a little education to be able to help them. And certainly then look to integrate them into the community. We want to be able to get bunk beds. The children are living and sleeping right now in the dirt. I mean, it's better than being on the street, but we want to be able to purchase bunk beds. We want to have mosquito nets. Malaria is a very prevalent disease in that area. We want to vaccinate the children and be able to establish some child health care for them. All of these are additional expenses, not part and parcel of our child sponsorship. And so we're really appealing to companies to come alongside us and to help us to be able to support these children holistically. I hope that you've caught the vision. We really need your help in this aspect. We need you to take on this child sponsorship program and to be responsible and to realize that you're sowing into the lives of these children. We have no idea. This might be the next Prime Minister of Uganda. This isn't just going to be a child sponsorship program where you never hear anything back from your child. We're hoping to be able to integrate and to be able to get feedback from Africa. We're looking at being able to give you school reports. We're wanting to be able to even establish set up Skype calls so that you'll even be able to speak to your child, so that you feel as though you're involved in the care of this child. This is important so that you take ownership of this whole child sponsorship program, and also that there's transparency. We hold that a very high esteem, that the fact that 90% of the money that is donated to the Hope Childcare Centre will actually go into the care of the child. So I hope that you will consider this childcare sponsorship, whether it's in the Hope Childcare Centre or the children in the community that are also in need, so that you can help us to help them.
We're just like you, but the world looks so different through our eyes. Mommy and Daddy are gone.
AIDS and war took them from us,
and the battle still goes on.
you can see us now as orphans.
You can see us now as victims.
Where would our help ever come from?
Only in God can we trust.